Good afternoon and welcome to the Palm Jumeirah, where you find me going live. And today I'm going to talk about a variety of topics, but one in particular, and it crops up a lot in therapy and in client sessions, and that is betrayal, and what betrayal means and what one can learn from betrayal. And any client or former patient of mine who's watching this will be no stranger to what I'm about to say. To those who have not sat with me in session, this may come as a bit of a surprise, because how I see betrayal is not how the majority of the world sees betrayal. But bearing in mind that just because everybody's doing it or everybody believes it does not make it more sane. More often than not, it makes it more insane. And what do I mean by that? Well, when we get cheated on or somebody betrays us, we immediately think that our pain and suffering is because somebody did something to us that we didn't expect. So they broke our expectations. And you're right, they did. And when people do things that induce pain and suffering, we always have a choice. There's always a choice of what to do about when these situations arise. And this comes back to the whole responsibility concept, the ability to respond to whatever shows up in our lives, however painful or however joyful. When we feel slighted, when we feel cheated on, we have a choice. We can dive in that rabbit hole and wallow there in our misery, or we can look at it in a different way. How I look at it and how I tell my clients to look at it is this. You have a particular set of values and ideologies which define who you are as human beings. And if fidelity is one of your highest values, if fidelity is one of your rule breakers, and your partner violates that specific rule, then surely you want to know that the person that you are spending your chosen quality time with does not align with your highest values. And the sooner you find that out about a prospective partner, husband, spouse, fiance, the better, in my opinion, in my world, because you want to know that the person that you're willing to spend all your quality time with and share your body with also shares your values and your ideology when it comes to fidelity and monogamy. Not to say that monogamy is the only way of coexisting peacefully and happily. What I am saying is, if monogamy is a deal breaker to you and being polyamorous is not on the table in any shape or form, then you owe it to yourself to state that clearly. And if somebody breaks and violates that, then you also owe it to yourself to remove yourself from somebody that can't be trusted and is not willing to meet you at that level of congruency, at that level of honesty. And this is what I mean when I say betrayal is a gift, because when somebody betrays you, especially when they cheat on you, it's your duty, if they violated that rule, for you to remove them from your life, because you want to spend time with people who align with your greatest good, those that you can trust. And in this way it comes back to partners that run around trying to ring fence off their significant other from possible temptation. That is not the way forward. You are not giving your partner a chance to behave in a way which they always would, so you can see what they are truly about. Let them be free. And then if they violate your ideology in your rule breakers. You go left and they go right. But holding on to somebody that you can't trust, you are going to die 1,000 deaths before they stick you in the ground. And this may come across as a bit sharp, but it's not. It's just that we're conditioned to believe a certain level of interaction. We're told how to behave. We're told how to interact. Yet when you change the way you look at things, things you look at change. And people will say to me, yeah, I know this stuff. But do you know what I say to that? If you know this stuff, yet you're not getting the results from this stuff, then you don't know it at all. Remember, we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. It's subjective. And if how you see things does not align with that of your partner, and you're not willing to compromise, then why are you wasting your time with somebody that's going to give you pain and discomfort and massive uncertainty? It's rhetorical because you know the answer. People would rather be with somebody that they can predict the outcome, the familiarity, than the potential pain of being alone for a while and to really sit with yourself to understand what it is that you want, your highest standards, that you're not willing to compromise on. And people say to me, yeah, but everybody's doing it. All couples fight over this sort of thing. All couples are jealous. No, they're not. And here's the thing. Even in the minority of one, the truth still remains the truth. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it more sane. It makes it more insane. The great Indian mystic Krishnamurti said, "It's no measure of sound emotional and psychological health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." And that's exactly what society has become. Everybody is rushing around and they're propping each other up with unhealthy emotional behaviour. My partner does this, my partner does that, yeah, it's okay because everybody seems to be doing it. No, don't set your standards according to what other people are doing. Your highest standards are there for a reason. When you raise your standards, you raise your frequency. And when you raise your frequency, all of a sudden, those events, circumstances and people that are resonating on that higher frequency begin to come into your life. And you begin to match up with that which aligns with your highest values. That's not to say that the lessons don't stop, because these people, circumstances and events that come into your frequency on this higher level bring with them more lessons and more lessons. Why? Because this is a school that never closes, the teachers never go home, and the lessons never stop coming to the day you take your final breath. That's what this place is, our home, this planet, our earth. It's a school, unlike any other. It doesn't close down. When you learn that, you understand that what you're here for. You're here to push the needle of consciousness forward. Consciousness has miraculously manifested itself inside this physical avatar called a human body. And we in return have agreed to push the needle of consciousness forward, to evolve the species, to evolve the environment, to push the frequency of the planet forward itself. Yet, one look around the world and you would think that we're going backwards. Now, I don't think so. I think there's a huge shift of awareness going on this planet as we speak. It may not appear so because those in power are banging the drum the loudest. And they want to hold on to the status quo. They want to attain parity in power. The 1% that own 70% of the assets on this planet do not want humanity waking up. I believe it's too late. I believe that this planet is a living, breathing, conscious organism. And she is decreed, along with her celestial brethren in the universe, to intervene and raise the frequency of her own heartbeat, if you like. And we are being pulled along with it, whether we like it or not. This is why there's so much damn confusion on the planet right now. So much anxiety, so much uncertainty, because we as a species crave familiarity, we crave habit, we crave patterns, yet there's something inside of us, our true essence, our true identity, is being reminded that we are not here to be familiar. We are here to evolve, which means letting go of limiting beliefs, of limiting stories that we tell ourselves, of all the disempowering stories we've told ourselves over the years that were given to us and imprinted upon us by our caregivers. What we could and couldn't achieve, what we must and mustn't do, whose God is true and whose God is false, and everything else in between. Yet we're waking up because inside us there's a receiver. Whether it's the junk DNA, I don't know, but there's a receiver inside of us that's downloading from the cosmos information, direction. And it's those who ignore this call, those who are trying to blank out this message, are the ones suffering the most. They're the people that are calling me when they can no longer stand it for another second. The pain and anxiety and uncertainty is so great, they need to make sense of what's going on. And this is what I believe is going on. The planet, the universe, is a sentience. It's an intelligence. You can call it God. You can call it the hive mind. You can call it the quantum field. I don't care what you call it. If you are looking at my finger when I'm pointing at the moon, you're losing the point completely. But the sentience exists, and it wants to drive forward all expressions of the totality. And so we have a choice. We get with the program and listen to our intuition and our conscience, which is our direct link to God and the sentience, or we ignore it and try and block it out. And like any good messenger, the door gets louder and louder and louder. The knocking on the door gets more aggressive, more persistent, until we open that damn thing and we sign for whatever it is that's trying to be delivered to us. That's what's going on. We must understand that there's a message being delivered to us, and our emotions are the feedback loop to what's going on in the quality of our thinking. Your emotions are a feedback mechanism to let you know the quality of your thinking, the quality of your actions, and the quality of your thoughts. If they don't align with your greatest version, they're telling you, hey, you're hurting me. Find another way. Stop it. That's what emotions do. They're wonderful messengers. They're your friends. They're not your enemy. Don't push them away. They're trying to get your attention. So listen up. Sign for it. Acknowledge what's going on. Let whatever's arising inside you be the messenger. And change your thinking and change your actions accordingly. Okay? And so, in closing, remember, betrayal, because that's what we started with, can be an absolute gift if you know how to interpret the message, and if you can learn from the fact that you don't want to be with somebody that doesn't align with your highest values, whatever they are. If you've agreed to fidelity and somebody compromises that and lies and is dishonest behind the scenes, you owe it to yourself to move away from whatever it is that can't be trusted. If you decide that polyamory is the way forward, beautiful, embrace it, no problem at all. It's the dishonesty in a relationship. It's the one-sidedness. It's the hypocrisy that kills relationships, not the actions themselves. Okay, so in closing, I love you all. If you want to reach out and discuss any of these topics that I'm talking about, if you want to come and sit with me in a session to really get into it deeply and really delve into the psychology of why we do the things we do and what to do about them, drop a message down below, reach out to me at my website www.darrenjohntimms.com or email me at darrenjohntimms@gmail.com. So until the next time, whether it be live or a recorded video, be your greatest version, and I'll see you soon.